You may recall that Joseph was sold to a man named Potiphar down in Egypt. You probably also recall that Potiphar's wife made advances to seduce Joseph. That isn't a big surprise when you remember that she was an Egyptian of some importance, and with power comes a likelihood of corruption. What is truly striking about this account is Joseph's reply to her. In Genesis 39, 8 through 9, he says, "Behold, with me here, my master does not concern himself with anything in the house, and he has put all that he owns in my charge. There is no one greater in this house than I, and he has withheld nothing from me except you, because you are his wife. How then could I do this great evil and sin against God?" Joseph was quite a contrast to his brothers. He was sensitive to the higher relationship and responsibility we must have with and toward God. While it is true that this would have been a sin against his master, Joseph was concerned about God. This is the true focus we all should have. This is established by a number of statements in Scripture. When David was confronted about his sin of adultery and murder, he said, "I have sinned against the Lord." 2 Samuel 12:13. He repeated that in his moving psalm numbered 51 at verse 4. "Against thee, thee only, I have sinned, and done what is evil in thy sight." King Solomon spoke of a time when the people would sin against God, and how they could then pray for forgiveness, 1 Kings 8:46. And who could forget the plea of the prodigal son in Luke 15:21? "Father, I have sinned against heaven and in your sight. I am no longer worthy to be called your son." When we sin against our fellow man or in any way, we are actually sinning against God. Any sin is a violation of his commandments, for sin is the transgression of the law, 1 John 3 and verse 4.